So let us start with the session, right? So in previous session, we have seen about the various typology of the risks, and we have seen something on risk management process. So before further getting into the components of risk, once again, I will be getting into the technical interpretation of your exchange rates. So in this session, we'll be seeing something on the technical interpretation of exchange rates. So we know what is an exchange rate, as I already said you, right? When someone say what is an exchange rate, it is nothing but the price of one currency, price of one currency, okay, being expressed in terms of another currency. Right? So the price of one currency expressed in terms of another currency. So the exchange rate fluctuation will result in profit or loss, which result in profit or loss. Right? I put the fluctuation as this change in the triangle symbol. Triangle symbol is nothing but the change in the exchange rate will definitely result in profit and loss. That is the typical part that everyone knows, right? So we know that a particular commodity okay, is being priced in a particular currency. A particular commodity is being priced in a particular currency. Right? So here it is often there is a confusion, right? Because there are two currencies involved, which is the commodity one, which is currency. But one thing is that, as I said in the earlier example, right? The particular commodity is nothing but another currency where we want to price the currency. Suppose you have the product called onion, right? So you're pricing the onion in terms of rupee also. The same way you have, suppose the US dollar. The US dollar will be your commodity currency, right? This is valued in terms of rupee. So this interpretation you should have already in your mind, right? So I can say the example, you have the commodity currency and you have the terms currency. Normally the commodity currency will be given in 1 unit, right? I can put it, interpret in some other way with an example. Suppose we have 1 pound equal to, assume that US dollar comes around 1.4500, right? So here the commodity, this is your commodity, right? The pound is being priced in terms of dollar, right? The pound is being priced in terms of dollar. So this is your commodity currency. I put it as CC. And this is your term currency. I put it at TC, right? See, the commodity currency is being priced in terms of US dollar, right? See, in the market quotation, how they have given, this is for the theoretical aspect that we are getting into that, but how it will be given in the market. So normally it will be given in the quotation of two currencies. Okay, normally the exchange rate quotation or given two currency. Okay, the currency, it will be like this, right? I'll just give you. So the currency, one currency will be in the denominator. and one more currency will be given in numerator. Right? So here the denominator is nothing but your commodity, I put a CC, right? Commodity currency or the base currency, the denominator, and the numerator is nothing but your term currency, right? So I can put here pound slash US dollar 1.4500. So this is a typical thing which is given in your exchange rate market, right? So the pound is being priced in terms of US dollar, right? So your pound is your commodity. The commodity is being priced in terms of US dollar. So there are two foreign currencies with different exchange. I'm not getting into the bid and ask right now. First, you interpret how you have to manually change this one. So when it comes to the market convention, they would have given as per the ISO standards, ISO market convention. They would have given this one like this: Great British Pound, okay, slash USD 1.4500, right? So the British Pound is the commodity currency which is being priced in terms of US dollar 1.4500. See how they have in every market they would have their own market convention, but and the thing is that you have to interpret. Okay, it may be given in this way or this way or this way. So everything is same, but only thing is that the interpretation part is very, very important. In the same way, the exchange rate quotation, what I have said is the one thing is your commodity currency. So one is your commodity currency, or I can say the base currency. And one more thing is your terms currency. So these are very, very important for your interpretation part. Let us give you one more example. Same, okay. Suppose this is the US dollar. US $1 is being priced in yen, 124.50. Okay, so here the dollar is being priced. The dollar is priced, okay, in yen terms. Okay, the dollar is being priced in yen terms. So once again, I repeat it. See, this one is your commodity currency, right? US dollar is your commodity currency, and this is your terms currency. Let me bring you one more example. Okay, this you have interpreted, I know. Then coming to one more term called the reciprocal rates. Reciprocal rates. So what is this reciprocal rates? It is nothing but you have to change the terms of the currency. We have to change the terms of the currency from commodity to terms and terms to commodity. But don't get into more difficulties. Let me give you with the same example so that we have taken this one, right? US dollar equal to yen 124.50. I put it in a more simpler way. I write it here, the commodity currency, and I put here the terms currency, right? So now the origin, suppose they have given this is the original quotations they have given, right? So I write the original quotation. The original quotation given in your exchange market. So they are given US dollar. Okay, US $1 is being priced in terms of your yen, which is 124.50. Right now, I need the reciprocal rate. right? I need the reciprocal rate of the original quotation. So what you will be doing, you have, so I need 1 yen, right? I need 1 yen. So 1 yen will be your US dollar 1 divided by 124.50. You have a calci with you. How much you're getting? Have a calci along with you because we have some calculations to be done. 1 divided by 124.50. So you are getting
0.0080.
okay 0.0080.
0080.
Okay, can put 3 2 also, nothing to worry, right? So this is your reciprocal rate of your original quotation, right? So this been asked in your exams uh, while you are hedging. This terms are asked actually, right? So the concept of reciprocal rate is known to you. Then the concept of interpreting the currency is known to you. Now getting to the next part, right? The next concept is nothing but the price changes. Price changes. So what is this price changes? So coming to the normal part, right? The suppose the commodity price, suppose the commodity price rises, okay? It means that you have to pay more units of term currency, more units of term currency. TC is nothing but term currency. When the commodity price is more larger, it means that we have to pay more units of term currency. Suppose you have the 1 US dollar, right? It is suppose 42. Okay, in rupee, it is a term currency is given rupee. Here we require only 42 rupees to pay to the US dollar. Suppose the commodity price of US dollar rises. Okay, we have to see the interest rate and all. Suppose the US dollar prices rises. Okay, suppose we have to say suppose 82.19. So it means that it shows that the commodity price has been risen in the market and we have to pay more units of term currency, right? So here the term currency has to be paid less over here. So that is the concept over here. So when the commodity price is rising, okay, you have to pay more units of term currency. The same way, suppose the commodity price falls, okay, then you have to pay only fewer units of the term currency. Okay, fewer units of the term currency. So from this we can interpret. So from the exchange, from the foreign exchange market, we can interpret that when there is a rise in value of commodity, when there is a rise in the value of commodity, which is equivalent to there is a fall in the value of term currency, fall in value of term currency. If people are getting at what I'm telling, right? So when there is a rise in value of commodity, which is equivalent to nothing but the fall in value of term currency, because we have to pay extra more. Suppose the US dollar, there is an increase in commodity price of US dollar, then we have to pay extra from our pocket, right? Extra 40.19, we have to pay extra. So that it means that the purchasing power has been reduced, right? So the value of our terms currency falls. So in the same way, vice versa, suppose there is a fall in value of commodity, fall in value of commodity, which is equal to nothing but a rise in the value of term currency. Okay, so this is very, very important. This thing you have to remember, right? So don't go for the appreciation, depreciation part and all. Appreciation rate, depreciation rate, we'll be getting into that. You just put it in a more simpler way: fall in value, rise in value. We'll get into the appreciation of the exchange rate. Depreciation of exchange rate will go when we are concerned with the hedging scenario, right? We're just concerned with the rise in value and fall in value. The rise in value of commodity is nothing but we are trading in another currency, right? And putting it commodities so that it becomes easy for you to interpret, right? So when it comes to the market conventions, so these are only for the interpretation purposes for the price changes. When it comes to the market conventions, they would have given in some other way. The same exchange rate will be given in some other way. So here you have to be more careful. So in market, the exchange rate quotations, the exchange rate quotations, just given in the market, there are two ways of normally the market, as per the market conventions, two rate of quotations will be given. So one is your price quotations, okay, and one more is your volume quotation. So let us first interpret what is this price quotation. So here the exchange rate, I put at ER. ER is nothing but exchange rate, right? The exchange rate is expressed. The exchange rate is being expressed. How it is being expressed? The foreign currency, the foreign currency is nothing but your commodity currency. Commodity currency. The same way the local currency is your term currency. Local currency is nothing but the term currency. So in the price quotation, how they have given? So they have given the foreign currency is being priced. The foreign currency is being priced in terms of local currency. Okay, the foreign currency is being priced in terms of local currency. This is the thing they have given this. So there is a lot of confusions in the exchange rate quotations. You would have referred the books. They were given the various rates and all. Okay, so ensure that whether the quotation which is given in the market convention is price quotation or volume quotation. So you have to interpret as per the need and you have to convert it, right? So this is very, very basics actually. Then coming to next one, the volume quotation. Volume quotation. When it comes to the volume quotation, the exchange rate, ER is nothing but the exchange rate. The exchange rate is being expressed. I put it FC as the foreign currency. Okay. The foreign currency, when it comes to volume quotation, the foreign currency is nothing but your term currency. The same way, the local currency, I put it as LC. Local currency is nothing but your commodity currency. Commodity currency. So in volume quotation, how they have been given, the local currency is being priced in terms of foreign currency. In terms of foreign currency. The local currency is being priced in terms of foreign currency. So same exchange rate is being given and the quotation would have given some differently. So as per the trader or the banker may deal with price quotation, or you as a trader will be dealing with volume quotation. You have to know which type of quotation bank provides to you, or which type of the trader, suppose you're the risk manager, you have to deal with the two types of quotations. So you have to convert the needs as per the whether price to volume or volume to price, it is as per your requirement. So that you have to trade in the exchange rate.
Excuse me, sir.
So
Scale
this
to yours, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So no, we can say volume quotation as indirect quotation and price quotation as direct quotation, no, sir. Like it's the
No,
same.
no, I can, yeah, we can do that. Please don't use that indirect and direct. That is only for the theoretical part that we use actually. Okay. When we come into the market conventions, we have to see only the price quotation and uh, volume quotation. But as per our interpretation, we can say take the same way for direct and indirect. Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
getting into the, I'll put a simple example over here. We take the same example. Uh, Suppose US dollar is $1 is nothing but Yen 124.50, right? So here you people have to say, as per Japan, what type of quotation is it? It is. Is it a price quotation or is it a volume quotation?
Price quotations.
Price quotation, exactly. So here the foreign currency for Japan, US dollar is foreign currency, right? The foreign currency is being expressed in terms of the local currency. So this is your foreign currency for Japan and which is being expressed in local currency. So this is your price quotation for Japan. If it is for the same example, US $1 equal to 124.50 yen. So when it comes to US, so what you can say, what type of quotation is as per US?
Volume.
Volume quotation, right? So in the volume quotation, we can see the local currency is being priced in terms of foreign currency, right? The local currency is being priced in terms of foreign currency, right? So this is your volume quotation, right? So when you're trading with, when the US is dealing with the Japan and Japan has to deal with US, you have to see which rate, which at which bank dealer you're engaging in trading with. So that is a little bit, you have to know something on that. Okay, till now you people are clear on that. What is it actually, right? Now we further get into the uh, reciprocal rate relation. Reciprocal rate, what I have said, if you have interpreted what reciprocal rate, how it has to be converted. Now you have the know how what is your price quotation and what is your volume quotation. Now we get into the reciprocal rate relationships. Reciprocal rate relationships. So reciprocal rate relationships. I will put it in a more simple example. Mm, okay, the put it as the original exchange rate. Okay, and I put here the right commodity prices or commodity prices, or I put it as commodity currency prices rise. I put here the commodity currency price falls. Price falls. Right. So I put the same. I take the same example. US $1 is equal to yen 124.50. Right. So here we can say that the US dollar is your commodity currency. Right. If suppose there is an commodity price rises, so I can say US dollar one equal to yen 124.60. Okay, you have to pay more yen to buy $1. Suppose commodity price falls below US $1 equal to yen 124.40. Right. So this is your original exchange rate that we are given. When we have to see the relationship with the reciprocal rate, I'm putting heading as reciprocal rate. So when we put into the reciprocal rate, so this can be converted into 1 yen equal to US dollar 1 divided by 124.50. So we have already got the value. US dollar is 0.008032, right? So this is your reciprocal rate. So here you can see, even the theoretically we have discussed that when there is an increase in commodity prices, there will be fall in terms currency. So we will see check the whether the theoretical part is okay or not. So the term currency price that we're going to determine, right? So what is the term currency part? Suppose what will happen yen. What is the yen over here? US dollar 1 divided by 124.60. So how much we are getting? US dollar, how much we are getting? 0.008026. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So in the same way, here what is happening here? Okay, here your term currency falls, right? So when there is a rise in the commodity currency, okay, your term currency falls. See, first here you have the one US dollar is 124.50. When US dollar commodity price increased to 124.60, your yen, which is your terms currency, being fall from 8032 to 8026. So the theoretical part that we have discussed, or the theorem that we have seen, it is correct, right? In the same way, here the commodity price falls. It means that term currency price will be rising. Terms currency price will rise. So in terms of yen, so here in terms of yen, this is your term currency and that is your commodity currency. So 1 yen equal to US dollar 1 divided by 124.40. So how much we are getting 1 yen? So US dollar will be how much? 0.0
0.008038, sir.
8038. You can round off and put it to 9. So now you're getting the term, right? The theoretical part that we have discussed here. When there is a rise in value of commodity currency, there will be fall in value of term currency. This is what the thing what we have seen in the example part. Okay, when there is a commodity rise in the commodity currency, there is a fall in value of term currency. In the same way, when there is a commodity currency price falls, there is a rise in terms currency. So this theorem that we have seen here, right? So this is satisfied. So that is what the price changes that we have seen, right? So now what the relationship, you have to interpret the relationship, what relationship we have seen. So here we have seen the relationship okay. So when there is an increase or the rise or fall in exchange rate, when there is a rise or fall, or we can say when there is a rise in exchange rate, okay, the value of commodity currency rises, or put it, value of commodity rises. In the same way, when the exchange rate falls, okay, the same way we have the value of commodity also falls. Okay, when the exchange rate rises, the value of commodity rises. In the same way, when exchange rate falls, the value of commodity falls. So this is nothing but your direct relationship. Direct relationship. Okay, so when I can say the inverse relationship, so I put it here. Okay, when there is a rise in exchange rate, there is a fall in terms currency. In the same way, when there is a fall in exchange rate, there is a rise in terms currency. So this is what the relationship that we can interpret in the relationship between your exchange rate, whether it is a reciprocal quote or the commodity quote or the base quote, whatever the rate they have, right? The direct rate or the base rate or the commodity rate that we have. So this relationship is very, very important. Okay, it's also very, very important. So let me put it into the pictorial form, okay, as a chart form, so that you will have the proper interpretation, right? Suppose we have, so this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis, right? So I put here the exchange rate, US dollar into, okay, yen. Okay, here US dollar is being priced in terms of yen. So here I put the yen, right? I put the random value, put 100. Okay, 105. I put 5 points increase rate. 1110, 115, 120, 125. Okay, and the same way I put it here, yen, the yen per US dollar, you put it as the in 10,000 or whatever it is, right? Just for example purpose, okay, nothing to worry about that. Just 000, right? Then put 105 000. Then I put 110 000, then 115 000, 120 000, then 125 000. So when we talk about the direct relationship, when the exchange rate rises, the value of commodity also rises. So when the exchange rate is 100, it will remain here itself. When the exchange rate is 105, it will come here. When the exchange rate is 110, the commodity currency also rises. Then 115, it comes here. 120, it comes here. 125, it comes here. It means that we have the linear line. Okay, it is a linear line which goes when it is the direct relationship that we have. So I put it as DR, direct relationship. So when it comes to the same chart, okay, when it comes to the inverse relationship, or I can put it as inverse relationship, or the reciprocal relationship, okay, inverse relationship or the reciprocal relationship. So when it comes to the reciprocal relationship, okay, the chart will, as your exchange rate will rise, the same thing, it will also decrease. It will go like this. Okay, so this is your reciprocal relationship. Okay, so this is your inverse relationship, and this is your direct relationship of your exchange rate. So here we have to see the, if you're well versed in technical analysis, you can, as a technical trader, you can break the chart, right? We can get the, see here when we get into the, as a technical part, you can see there is a triangle over here, right? Put in some other color so you can interpret it. So we have a triangle over here. Okay, so we find that the triangle, and once again there is a triangle. Okay, so we can see that there is an angle of 45 degree, right? And here we find the isosceles triangle. So when you calculate the range between the, when if you're a technical trader, you have to see the range where you can hedge and you can do the benefits over there. Okay, so when we are into hedging, I'll be telling you how to interpret the chart and all. Okay, that is also in your syllabus. Okay, don't think that that is not in the syllabus. That is also in syllabus. You have to interpret the chart. You do that, right? So this is the typical thing of the relationship, the exchange rate relationships that you have to interpret, right? Till now, is there any clarification?
Sir, no doubt, sir.
Okay. So one more thing, concept I will discuss, and I will just in the session. I thought I have to discuss the cross rates also along with you. Okay, if you have time, right? Okay, I'll discuss the one concept in the cross rates. Chain rule is also there for you. So when you know the interpretation of this, then only we can go for the next chapter and all. So most of the first chapter is most of the half of the chapter is over. When the risk management has been touched, the half of the chapter is over. Okay. So the relationship you people have known. What is the relationship that we are going to see? So here one more thing that we would discuss is nothing but the direct relationship that we had, right? So the direct relationship exchange rate can be expressed in the same way that in the mathematical form also, right? Suppose we have the y equal to ax, right? Y equal to ax, where y is the commodity currency, then x is your terms currency, and a is nothing but your exchange rate, right? So it's nothing but there is a direct relationship between this one and this one, commodity currency and term currency. When there is an increase in exchange rate, the term currency, the reciprocal will be there, your commodity currency will also rise. It is an effect of your term currency, right? The same way when we have the inverse relationship or the reciprocal relationship, you can put the same equation as y equal to same thing, right? X by b, what is x by b? Okay, same thing. Y is here your commodity currency. What is CC, right? Commodity currency, and X is nothing but your term currency, and B is your exchange rate. I put it as here. So here we can put B is nothing but B equal to 1 by A, right? Or you can put, as Keshav said, the indirect, the inverse rate is nothing but 1 by your direct rate. Okay, so this way, while this also can be helpful for you, suppose you stuck with some of the interpretation, you can use the algebraic equations that can derive the value also, right? So this is the relationship that we have seen. Okay, now let me get into the last topic. Okay, a lot of topics to be discussed, but I will send you the lectures. No, don't worry about that. I'm also preparing that. It's a very, very vast topic, right? It's not vast topic, more technical in nature. That is it. I can take the lecture overall lecture. I can finish the your syllabus within a week. Within 2 weeks, I can finish. But you people will don't know what I'm talking actually. Okay, everything will be technical term. That's why I'm going very, very slow. Okay, once you're more comfortable with it, then it is easy for you. So even while looking in the exam, you can't able to write, right? Then coming to one more term called the cross rates. Okay, let us discuss on the cross rates. So here the cross rates, I'll put it in a more simpler way, right? I'm not getting into any bookish terms. There will be a common currency. There is a common currency. There will be a common currency. From that common currency, we have to derive exchange rate. We have to derive exchange rate between two currencies. Between two currencies. Okay, there is a common currency. From the common currency, we have to derive the exchange rate between two currencies. So these two currencies have been quoted against the common currencies. Okay, these two currencies would have been quoted against the common currency. Let me come into a simple example. Example 1. Suppose you have given the quote US $1 equal to yen 100. Okay, and you have US $1 is equal to HK is nothing but Hong Kong. Okay, Hong Kong dollar 7.8000. Right? Suppose you require, you are a trader and you require the exchange rate for Hong Kong dollars. You require, so what is the requirement? The requirement is you require the exchange rate for Hong Kong dollars in yen terms. Okay, you require the exchange rate for the Hong Kong dollars in yen terms. So what they are asking, we have to price the Hong Kong dollars in terms of yen currency. So here the commodity currency is your Hong Kong dollar. So we need one Hong Kong dollar will be how much yen? So that is the requirement we need. So to normally why the need of the cross rates is required is that in the exchange rate in several you have all over the world there are several banks which will be displaying their exchange rate. The rate which we require may not be available in the list. So at that time we have to combine the indirect rates or the reciprocal rates and we have to derive into our own rate. So that is a need of this one. So that is the need of cross rates. So in the exchange rates, you don't find which is readily available to you. If you see the rupee and all, it is never available. The rupee will be given only the reciprocal rates. They would have given in their own base currency, but rupee will be put in only in terms currency. You will not be getting that, right? So for that, we have to combine the rates which is applicable to us, and we have to derive the exchange rate for us. So that is the need of cross rates, right? So here you can derive. Here we need the Hong Kong dollars to be Hong Kong dollar is the commodity currency. This commodity currency to be priced in. So what is the one Hong Kong dollar? How much yen? So that is the requirement we need. So here you can combine the. We knew that US dollar is equal to 100 yen, and in the same way they have given US $1 equal to Hong Kong dollar 7.8000. So this you can also convert. Given the US dollar was $1 equal to they have given 100 yen. This US to $1 is same as your Hong Kong dollar 7.8000, right? So therefore we can derive one Hong Kong dollar is equal to how you can derive. So you can put this into denominator. So we require yen, right? So yen equal to 100 divided by 7.8000. So how much yen we are getting for one Hong Kong dollar? 100 divided by 7.8000. So how much you are getting?
So 12.820.
Yeah, 12.820. So put it as 12.82. So for one Hong Kong dollar, we are getting 12.82 yen, right? So this is the one example. One more example I'll do that. With that we'll be ending, right? Because some other classes also there, secondary classes there, right? You have one more example. Suppose put it as second example. Okay, 1.2 as an example. Suppose we have US $1 equal to yen 100. Okay, and I put it some other thing. Pound. Okay, 1 pound is equal to US dollar 1.5000. right? So the requirement is exchange rate for pounds in yen terms. In yen terms. So how you will be doing it? Your pound is your commodity. I need the pricing of the pounds to be done in terms of yen. So I require the pricing of the pounds to be done in terms of yen. How you can do that?
Sir, in terms of pounds, is it, sir? Or so,
No. Pound has to be priced in terms of yen.
so
So
since
what
we
will be 1 pound and
since
how much will be the yen?
since we have the value for 1 pound is equal to so many dollars, we can find the value of $1 is equal to how many pounds, sir?
That also you can do. How much the value will be getting?
Just
I need the value of pound, 1 pound value,
in
how
terms.
much yen
Okay.
in terms of yen.
Yes, sir.
So you can directly multiply it also, right? So 1 pound equal to yen. You
So
can
that
multiply it.
dollars is 1.5 or 1,500, sir.
1.5000.
Okay.
So 100 into 1.5000. So this will be your 1 pound equal to yen. So 100 into 1.5000. So you'll be getting 1 pound will be 150 yen, right? So this is the simple example of your cross rates. So we'll get into some other thing. We have to go into the chain rule also, but the lack of time, you people try to work this, the example, you people try to work out that. So I'll be sending you the examples for that to interpret. So with that, I'll be ending the session. Okay.